There are 5 steps to repair your credit super fast. Let's go into the first one. You need to get access to your credit report. How do we do this? Because there's a multitude of credit repair sites online which you can go to, but which is the best one? So I'm going to share with you the reports that we use here at Pinnacle. If you haven't saw my playlist on our channel, check out that playlist. And if you want to get any results similar to those results, well, you're going to want to watch this video until the end, because I'm going to share with you how we basically worked on most of those files right there. And when I say most of the files on those playlists, is because every single file that we work on is customized to the individual person's scenario. We can look at this video and say that this is a good general way on how to repair your credit. If you guys want further assistance to repair your credit, not just a DIY, well, you can contact me and you can hire me and you can hire our staff and we will do it for you. But this video, I believe, is sufficient enough to give you more knowledge and a way to dispute your credit, which I have not seen online, on YouTube at least, yet. In the beginning, you want to get a credit report.
Step 1. Getting access to your credit reports is a crucial first step. You're entitled to a free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once every 12 months through annualcreditreport.com. And yes, in these times of rampant identity theft, you can also access 6 free credit reports per year through 2026 from Equifax.
A most recent one, that's the basic one. I know in my other video that I posted before this, you could watch it right here, I discussed how to get 12 credit reports before you dispute. Well, yeah, that is a great strategy, but today we're going to discuss one for the lack of time. But how you address this credit report that we will pull today, if you're assuming that you're going to repair your credit today or tomorrow or sometime in the near future, your most recent credit report will be the one that you can apply this strategy to the other ones, most likely, and that will work as well. So you can apply this strategy and these methods to disputing the other credit reports as well. Another credit report you want to get is creditkarma.com. Creditkarma.com is similar to Experian.com with the exclusion of not having Experian on creditkarma.com or the app you can download on your phone. I highly suggest you download it because it will give you a good analysis of your credit and show you real-time changes. I can't stress enough, in the dispute process, you want to monitor real-time changes of the creditors, especially since we are disputing online in this video, because creditors will update accounts illegally and legally, but you'll want to look at the illegal ways and also the legal ways, so that will help you in the dispute process and also keep track of your disputes. So Credit Karma is a great tool to show you your TransUnion credit report and your Equifax credit report, and if you look at the See What's Changed section, you will be able to see real-time changes in your credit report that you can address proactively in the credit repair process. You can also obtain your 3 credit reports using the link in the description below. Now moving on to step 2.
Step 2. Reviewing your report is not a task to be taken lightly. Look carefully for any errors or discrepancies. Check your personal information, account data, payment history, credit inquiries, and public records. Even the smallest error can have a significant impact on your credit score.
You want to review your credit reports carefully for errors and negative accounts. We're hunting for negative accounts with errors. It's very simple, but unless you know how or specifically what errors to look for, then that's going to be a problem. So let's kind of point the microscope on the credit report as a whole and go line by line what items you want to dispute. So your personal information. Check for misspelled names, incorrect addresses. On a regular credit report, your social security number is not going to be shown, but your name as it appears on your social security card, that's very important. You want to look at all the credit reports and see the discrepancies and pick the name that you want. Essentially, the name that's on your social. And you want to take a gamble and bet that that name is going to show different variations. And then you want to look at all the variations of the name that is not particularly how you want it on your social. And you don't even have to have it written as completely 100% as your social. All you need to do is tell the credit bureaus that this is the name you want to go by. Now, you can't change your name completely. Like if your name was John Doe Smith, you can put John D. Smith versus John Doe Smith. Sometimes Doe is misspelled, and sometimes even John Doe Smith, if it's a popular name, it could be other information from other credit reports that have similar name and addresses could sort of merge on your credit report. I've seen it happen day in, day out, especially people that get illegal CPNs or a gray area cyberspace CPNs, which I'll go into another video later. There's a legal way to do CPNs, and then there's a useless way to do CPNs. Again, this is not a video about CPNs, but this is going to touch on the personal information on how an example is that information can be merged on credit reports from another report that is similar to yours. And the most common one I can think of is similar, like most popular names like John Smith, John Doe, etc., or even ethnic origin names that are very popular, like my last name, Nguyen. Nguyen is a very common last name. The majority of the Vietnamese population in America has that last name, or Tran, or Doe. So you will find if someone had the same last name and run an apartment with the same last name, like if you lived in Westminster or Garden Grove, it has happened and people's information can get confused with yours. The system is not perfect. So that's why we're able to dispute personal information. Another most common way is CPNs. People that dabble with CPNs, they can actually merge the files together, and that causes a big problem. So we'll go into that later. So it's not a video about CPNs. I don't stand for CPNs. I don't support them. I never have in the history of my business. I've never supported CPNs, and you shouldn't either. So that's another side note there. Account errors is the next thing. Look for inaccuracies in your account information, such as accounts that don't belong to you, incorrect balances, or accounts reported delinquent when they're not. Your late payments, the collection account which says collection and charge off. Well, is it a collection or is it charged off? Is it charged off as uncollectible debt as the US tax code states, or they're trying to collect the debt? Has it run out of their statute of limitations or not? So these are the intricacies of consumer laws that you need to be aware of, which we will have another video. Actually, we already have those videos. Feel free to check out my credit information playlist, which gives you credit information pertaining to the applicable laws that you need to know in conjunction with this video, which is going to help you repair your credit, because we're going into the dispute process in this video, but we're not diving deep in the intricacies of consumer laws. That's another video that you want to watch. But this video, you want to make sure that you watch it until the end and like, subscribe, and please drop a comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or concerns, or any content that you want us to show. And I would highly appreciate that. Guys, we want to share this video with as many people as possible, so click the like button, as it helps us gain our traction on YouTube, and this video gets distributed through YouTube, and it gets to help people like you. This is a DIY credit repair video on how to dispute online, and we're going to talk about mail as well. Okay, second thing is your payment history. Verify that your payment history is accurately reported and is listed correctly. So 30-day, 90-day, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, 120-day late, and then collection status. So you want to focus on that. I've made a video, lucky for you, I've made a video on how to do this. You might want to watch it. I'll leave that video in the link description below, or maybe it will be in a card in the playlist here at the end, but I'll definitely leave it in the video description so you could watch it. I highly recommend that you watch my credit information playlist right after this video, because once you know how to dispute, then you'll have the proper laws and how to apply them, and then you can do your own research, with which I have links provided in those other videos, so you can actually just do this yourself. All right, credit inquiries. Ensure that all credit inquiries are similar to you, as unfamiliar inquiries could be a sign of potential fraud or identity theft, i.e. if someone's applied for something that you are unaware of. But hold your horses. Maybe you have applied for an auto loan, and that auto loan did the classic shotgun pull and just shotgun. As a broker, they shotgun your credit report to multiple banks that they work with, as a broker should, and then you got 75 inquiries. Just kidding, maybe 16 or maybe 5 inquiries per broker. But don't have a cow, because in the rule of thumb, when you apply for an auto loan within 1 week, the inquiry counts as 1. And actually your auto loan inquiries may not directly impact your credit card inquiries. So JP Morgan has a rule, it's called the 524 rule. JP Morgan is the staple, is the household name of the elite credit cards. So whatever JP Morgan's criteria is, you want to match. You are subprime, which is why you're watching this credit repair video, and you want to learn how to repair your credit, but you also want to learn how to model and adopt the behaviors of all the prime category credit card holders. It's like going to the gym. You want someone to look up to. You don't want to look up to someone that's fat, overweight, or has post-PED TRT syndrome, where they're addicted to TRT because in their 20s didn't have actual real testosterone, so they needed to inject it. I'm actually a natty, just in case you're wondering. Don't take steroids. My body doesn't even look like it's unnatural. This is natural, and this is how you want to be. So I digress. Going back to JP Morgan and American Express, those are the two big household names that you want to model. You want to go to forums, a MyFalco forum, and learn how these people manage their credit cards. I have a video that discusses how to manage your credit card payments that will basically plunge you into the category of the elite. People that go to the gym have habits. They have workout habits, they have lifestyle habits. People that have an 800 FICO score have credit card habits, have credit reporting habits, have credit monitoring habits. Every single person that I know that has an 800 FICO score and above with hundreds of thousands, even millions of credit, yes, I know people that have $1 million credit lines. They all monitor their credit. Don't be a cheapo. These people, let me give you some insights on how people that have 800 FICOs use their credit. Now, keep in mind, if you want an 800 FICO score, there's a phrase out there, I don't know who said it. He says, show me who your 5 friends are and we'll tell you your future. Something along the lines of that. I perhaps butchered it, but you are the sum total of your 5 closest friends. So
look at your 5 people that you're with most often and ask yourself, if I have children, would I want them to grow up be like that? If the answer is no, you better start looking for some new friends. If the answer is yes, you're already in the right circle of people.
People want to get a six-pack, but are they acting upon it? Are they incorporating the values, the mindset of these people that go to the gym every day and work out and have a nice body? The only way to do that is to shadow them. My question is, who are you shadowing? If you're not shadowing anyone with an 800 FICO score or people that have access to people that have 800 FICO scores, then you're missing out. You need to do that. I'm inviting you to join my community here, and we're going to share with you how to dispute your file and how to incorporate the behaviors of all the people that have great credit and give you access to our community. As you can see on my review playlist, I've left some of the names and even the contact information. This is the social media profiles of my clients. Guess what? Some of them have 800 FICO scores. If you want to understand how we roll at Pinnacle, you might want to ask my clients. Now, if you are watching this video, you can do that. Leave a comment, send me an email, send me a DM. The link is in the video description below. You can contact me on my website or contact me directly here. I have no problem with that. I'll give you access to some people. You can talk to them. We talked about inquiries. But before we go on to the next section, which is public records, I want to talk a little bit more about inquiries because I don't believe I have created a video on how to remove inquiries. There's 3 ways that I know how to remove inquiries. Number 1, the most common one, if you didn't apply, like fraud or whatnot, or you just don't know, that whole shotgun method. So we have the fraud, which is like you didn't apply. This credit card is fraudulent, meaning you applied and got approved for a credit card that's not yours. That's fraud. That's a whole can of worms. That stuff is crazy. You want to delete that because it's not yours. Or the whole shotgun method. Okay? The whole shotgun method of disputing that account because they can't prove that they had authorization to do that. Now, there are ways to dispute inquiries without compromising the online account, because what happens if you dispute inquiry on an open account and then the account gets removed because it's associated with fraud and the creditor doesn't like that? You can't raise those red alerts. So I will make a video that explains on how to dispute inquiries effectively like a surgeon, because heaven forbid you get your credit clean. If you watch this video and then you inquire for credit, you get approved, and then you want to dispute those inquiries, and then all of a sudden that account gets removed because you disputed it wrong. So my clients, one of my recent clients, Lewis Hunter, he has gotten his credit fixed and he has applied for credit cards and gotten approved, and he has asked me to remove inquiries. You can check this out right here. He's one of the most recent ones, but if you look at our playlist, we have tons of case study about removing inquiries, and none of those guys are complaining because we did it correctly. Credit repair is a very technical thing. So on to the next thing. Public records. On public records, such as bankruptcies that are only reported to your credit report in the public record section, you want to check for inaccuracies in public records, such as basically look for inaccuracies. the same way you look for late payments and collections and charge-offs and personal information. We have the personal information, we have all the accounts, we have the payment history and all the credit inquiries and the public records. So we have what we're looking to dispute. The next thing is, what laws do we use to dispute them? So I'll just tell you right now. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair and Accurate Transaction Act, the Fair Credit Billing Act, the Fair Debt Collections Practice Act, did we mention that? The Fair and Accurate Credit Transaction Act. You can even use TILA on that regard when you're getting a mortgage and stuff like that. TILA has been useful. And you want to use the Credit Repair Organizations Act. I believe that's like 6. So we have the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is pretty extensive. We all know that. The Fair Debt Collections Practice Act, which would be the second most popular one. And then the Fair and Accurate Transaction Act, then the Fair Credit Billing Act. What else do we have? Not the Credit Repair Organization Act. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act. And then TILA you could use on some cases. So that's for more advanced people. So we have 6 laws right there that can help you. After you carefully review your credit report and look at these laws, you might want to check out my credit information playlist, because I discuss how to use these laws specifically and how to repair your credit. You use those laws. The next thing is the third step.
Step 3. If you come across any mistakes or inaccuracies, it's time to dispute them. You should file a dispute with the credit bureau that provided the report. There are several ways to do this, but the most common is by mail, preferably certified, so you have proof of your correspondence.
Accounts, public records, inquiries, etc., etc. Then use the laws, which I mentioned, the 6 laws if applicable. Then you want to file disputes. Disputes by phone, the person you would do that. We are a credit repair company, so we can't call on a person's behalf because we don't like writing out long power of attorneys. We don't like to have that much control over people's personal stuff. So sometimes I coach people to make phone calls to the bureaus and they dispute online that way. That is a common occurrence. There is no 100% way on how to dispute on a particular file. You just have to kind of wing it. You just have to understand and observe what's happening, because like I said, there are variables in the credit dispute process, and as you dispute further, you may need to dispute by phone. You may need to send a mailer out directly to the creditor. Remember, this is the credit bureaus and then the creditor. Okay, disputing by mail will go to the creditor most likely, and sometimes the bureaus. But why send them a mail when you can just email them? You can just talk to them, you can call them, or you can dispute through their online portal, which is really, really good. I swear by it. Okay, it doesn't mean. Now, this doesn't mean that disputing by mail you won't get results. I've gotten results disputing by mail, but we just prefer to do it online. You can decide which one that you choose, but considering a lot of people, actually some people in the YouTube space, badmouth disputes and they're saying the wrong things, this video is going to show you how to dispute online the right way, because a lot of people, based upon their videos, I agree. If you're disputing it like that person, this person, I'm not going to mention any names, but you can literally type it into Google and you'll find these people. All the people that are saying bad things about disputing online, they're saying the same exact thing. And I'm happy because now I'm going to introduce to you how they are doing it wrong so you can do it right. Check right here. Well, this is more of a professional opinion, but I will tell you right now, the best credit repair lawyers are bankruptcy lawyers, okay? Bankruptcy lawyers are well-versed in the Uniform Commercial Code, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collections Practice Act, because you're dealing with debtors and creditors, all right, and courts, all right? Those are the people that you want to have in the arsenal. So not every bankruptcy lawyer can do this. Even in the realm of bankruptcy lawyers, there's a dime a dozen, but I'm just pointing you in the right direction. So if you want a good credit repair lawyer, you want to aim to the bankruptcy lawyers. Like one of my mentors, Austin William Cooper, which was a part of the Kennedy compound, which is a former attorney of John F. Kennedy. That is a fact. I used to work in his office. I have his phone number. I know his family, and I even bought a car from him. Imagine that. So Austin William Cooper has taught me a little bit, and I observed a lot. He has a law office that is in Rivermark Plaza in Sacramento, in the capital of California, and I had the awesome opportunity to meet this legend in law. He used to be ranked before he got disbarred because he's old. It's like in his 80s, so he got disbarred because he's too old, but he has a pretty awesome track record. He was revered as one of the best lawyers in Martindale-Hubbell, which is a network of attorneys. He's not in there now. You can't find him. He's been, I think, redacted or something because he got disbarred because he's too old. But he didn't get disbarred for anything wrong. But the guy is just a total legend in law. The majority of people that have bad credit, if you look at the people that have bad credit, it's about half of America. So that's already 200,000. 15% of that, you're already looking at, maybe 60 million people. If my math is right, I'm not a mathematician, okay? But it's definitely tens of millions of people that are not getting results. So how do we help those people, okay? How do we help those people? Now, this study only talks about the delays, but it doesn't talk about the intricate details of the disputes. Was it a success? Or maybe they didn't have delays, which is perceived delays, or what the FTC lists as delays according to their definition of delays. Well, if you're a newbie in credit repair, you might think waiting 6 months to repair a late payment like Mike, the credit guy, told you how to do is normal. But for here in Pinnacle Credit Repair's world, we consider that the delay because we have case studies and proof that we have removed late payments off so consistently because I'm very transparent. We've used, I think, about 2 laws to remove late payments, and it has been successful. And if you look at the majority of the files, it has got success way before 6 months. So that debunks that. As supply chain was blocked, COVID restrictions came, lots of people weren't working in their offices and they couldn't deal with the mail, including the postal service. Lots of people got laid off, didn't have the vaccine. So that plugged up the supply chain. So there you have that. And then post-COVID syndrome as well. That plays a role in that. So disputing online came, and then lots of people just getting desperate, disputing online, doing it the wrong way. And then that made things worse. The National Consumer Law Center in 2015 reported issues with mail disputes, including lost mail and insufficient responses from credit bureaus, suggesting credit online disputes as more efficient alternative. Okay? So the data doesn't look really good for mail disputes. These statistics and reports show mail disputes can be slow and challenging for consumers to actually do. Think about it, to write it by hand and all that. If you're not really good at writing, which a recent study said the average American has an elementary level reading level, like the 5th grade reading level, I believe. You can look it up, this case study. If you can't read in the college level, how could you write in the college level? So that explains why a lot of people can't even read the codex in the credit report. This is really difficult. This is nothing to bash or make fun of or belittle people. This is just to address a phenomenon, a real thing. And I can help you by addressing that. Okay, well, you got to be honest with yourself. If you're not good at writing, if you're not good at reading, and you just want to watch this video because it's entertaining or waste your freaking time or be a competitor and badmouth us, or maybe you just want to understand if we're competent enough. This video is to demonstrate that we can actually do this. This video is going to be long and thorough, and your research and you're actually doing it is going to be long and thorough too, because you can watch this video one time, but to be good at doing it, you have to do it over and over on many, many files, which we have. So I'm not discouraging you, but I want you to be aware of the challenges and the dedication you need to repair your credit. Seriously, you have to, as an adult, understand, do you want to hire a professional and get this done, or do you want to do it yourself? I can't deny your right to do it yourself. So that's why I have this channel. This channel is to show you how to do it. Now, there are people that may say that, oh, online disputes, they don't have to prove the item has been verified or how it was verified. So you're basically saying the bureaus have monopolized a mechanism to break the law. Really? So why hasn't the CFPB gone after them? Why aren't there lawsuits pertaining to this? Okay? So what is this really based off of? This is BS. The bureaus cannot create a monopoly to violate your rights. Waiving your rights and violating them are two separate things. And you can't say waiving your rights is a bad thing. That's really ignorant. We will go into that later. That's a very, very important point that we will address. So all creditors are subjected to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, okay? And if you are good at credit repair, then you know how to use these to your advantage. So to be a consumer advocate, which is a lesser way to say you're a consumer lawyer. To say you're a consumer lawyer means you pass the bar, you are an Esquire, you have a law degree, blah, blah, blah. You're allowed to practice law in your state. Now let's move on to something else, because I was going on a tangent, and as you can see, I'm wearing a different attire and actually look 5 years younger. How did I do that? I just shaved, took a bath, that's it. That's all I have to do to look 10 years younger. So let's talk about the credit dispute timelines. And I got a different mic on here. So when doing an online dispute, you don't have to run around to the post office. You don't have to go to Kinko's or FedEx, print things, scan things if you don't have a scanner. Who has a scanner? Who has a home office these days? You don't have to go to the post office to get stamps and blue ink and all that stuff. You just have to write it online and submit it. How long does it take to do that? It takes a few hours. So if you don't have a few hours of clear laser-like focus to write a good letter, then you should hire me to do it. Don't use ChatGPT. Don't use any of that AI unless you are skilled to use that. So another thing, let me just say this, add a note here. If you're doing anything AI related with credit repair, like writing a letter, if you're not already good at writing, the AI is not going to do a better job. Seriously, because if you think that it's easy as write me a letter, write me a dispute letter, it's not. And being an expert at navigating AI is a skill set in itself, which if you are already a good lawyer and you're technical and you understand code, then you could be good at it. But if you can't, or if you're not, then you're probably not going to be good at it and you're wasting your time. And the AI system that Experian has will quickly identify it. It's AI generated content. Okay, so online submission is immediate with online disputes. The credit bureau investigation is 30 days, just like it is in the mail. That doesn't change. Receiving the investigation results takes literally a few hours to a day to receive them. Like once you send it off, in literally like a few hours, you're already receiving notice that that the dispute was received and sent off to those companies, whether you dispute directly with the bureau or to the creditor. So all those people that say, well, there's no proof that you sent the dispute, that's BS. Because if you've ever disputed online successfully, I think getting past the whole, putting something in the box part, some people don't know how to send disputes, but we'll go on that later. Now we're talking about the time frame, but people just really don't know how to dispute online. But if you have, you would know that you would get proof of submission. Everything is tracked online. The total estimated time for online dispute resolution is about 15 to 40 days. That is really, really low. Okay, now mail is 45 to 70 days. So you're comparing mail, which is 45 to 70 days, versus online, which is 15 to 40 days. Which one are you going to choose? Come on, be smart here. Let's dive in a little bit further into the mail. So preparing mail disputes is 1 to 2 days. And postal service delivery time takes 5 to 7 days or even 2 weeks. All right, that's a long time. Credit bureau investigation is 30 days, just like mail. They all have that legal time frame to respond to disputes within 30 days. Receiving investigation results by mail takes 5 to 7 business days or even 2 weeks. So it's every like 5 to 7 days to 2 weeks per dispute. You send it, 30 days passes by, and then if they respond to it on the 30th day, then you have to send another dispute. So it just takes so long, right? Why would you want to do that? There are a few misconceptions about disputing online, which I will talk about right now. Number one is the biggest one, is that disputing online waives your rights to sue. So let's look at the legal definition of sue, which we can refer to the Black's Law Dictionary for every legal term that there is to understand what it precisely means, as the law is specific and detailed. Now, to sue means to hire a lawyer to represent you in court to basically make a complaint and collect damages. Collect damages, right? You were wronged and they're looking for a resolution somehow. So you need a lawyer to do that. So to sue means you would have to hire a lawyer. So you have a lawyer that's going after the creditors, not necessarily repairing your credit, and that's another fee. Meaning, if you hire a lawyer, which is going to be very expensive, hire a lawyer that's very expensive with money you don't have. And that's precisely why you're probably watching this DIY video, because you came to YouTube to learn how to repair credit yourself, because most likely you don't have the money to do it, or you don't want to spend it because you're afraid of getting scammed. Let's see what else, what other reasons, or just don't have the money. Maybe, and your credit is bad because you defaulted on your credit cards, you max them out, whatever, and you can't get a loan to pay for the service, to hire a professional anyway. So no matter what your situation is, I'm not judging you. Well, you've reached the right video because I'm going to share with you how to do it, right? You don't need to hire a lawyer. But let's just say, if this is such a disheartening thing to understand, oh, you waive your rights to sue, but you weren't going to sue the creditors, were you? I mean, really, were you going to sue the credit bureaus and the creditors? Do you know how much that's going to cost you? Let's dive into it. Typical retainer fee for a credit lawyer can vary based upon the lawyer's hourly rate and estimated number of hours for the case. Retainers can range from as little as $500 to $5,000 or more. Really? Do you want to pay $5,000? Complexity of the case and the lawyer's fee structure. For example, if a lawyer's hourly rate is $250 and they estimate the matter will take 10 hours, really, how long does it take 10 hours to fix something? How many hours do I spend on a file myself? More than 10 hours, I'll tell you that. Sometimes it's less than 10 hours. $5,000 for complex negotiations. So do you really want to pay a lawyer $5,000 or do you want to hire me for $3,000, right? And keep in mind, lawyers have hourly rates. If they charge $250 an hour, and by the way, good lawyers, really good ones, they charge more. No person with actual skills in this world does anything for free. Michael Jordan was one of the best basketball players ever, but they pay him millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and he's still making money because of his shoes, Jordan. Think about this. So you can associate price with value. There's a reason. People can't be fooled all the time. There's a reason why smart, rich people hire expensive lawyers. They get a professional. Now, the sad part is that your average Joe can't afford it. Well, this sucks for you. Figure out the problem, make money, or learn how to do it yourself. I learned how to do it myself, which is why I'm teaching you guys on YouTube, because I've worked on lots of files. I've done more than 10,000 hours in this business. They say to be a master or an expert, you have to have 10,000 hours of service. Well, I have a lot more. Try 10 years. So let me ask you, are you ready to pay a lawyer $5,000 as the initial fee? Or would you rather pay me $3,000? Or watch this long ass video and learn how to do it yourself. So back to this awesome word called arbitration, right? YouTube guru's favorite word. Let's really explain what that is, and no better than Experian.com. Experian, like many other companies, includes arbitration clauses in their terms and conditions when you dispute online. Arbitration is a method of dispute resolution that can be voluntary or mandatory. It is often seen as a faster and cheaper alternative to litigation. However, critics argue that forced arbitration limits consumer options for resolving disputes and may not always be in the consumer's best interest. Arbitration has both advantages and disadvantages for consumers. One of the advantages of arbitration is that it can be simpler, faster, more peaceful, and less expensive than litigation. The parties usually agree to the arbitrator, so both sides have the confidence that the proceedings will be impartial. Disputes are often resolved sooner because the trial date takes about 12 months from the date the dispute is filed. Arbitration is also essentially a private procedure, so if parties desire privacy, the details are kept confidential. In arbitration, the arbitrator, rather than a judge or jury, decides the rules, weighs the facts and arguments of both parties, and then decides the dispute. Companies may prefer arbitration because it can be advantageous to them and may help them evade legal action. Consumers should be aware that agreeing to arbitration, they may be forfeiting their right to sue. While arbitration can be faster for resolution, it's important for consumers to carefully consider implications for forfeiting their right to sue before agreeing arbitration. The purpose of including arbitration clauses in online dispute resolution is to provide a method for resolving disputes outside the court system. However, it's essential for consumers to understand the potential implications of agreeing to arbitration, including forfeiting their right to sue. Arbitration may offer a faster resolution. It's important to carefully consider whether it's the consumer's best interest. So, we know that trial takes like a year to fulfill with no guarantee. And within that year, there could be additional complex negotiations the lawyer will charge you for. So you can take $500 to $5,000 as a benchmark. And like I told you, if you hire anyone for $500, they ain't good. Your problem cost you thousands of dollars to screw up and lots of time and heartache. Why would you pay someone $500 to clean that shit up? Doesn't make sense, right? you get what you pay for in America. In the world, you get what you pay for, unless you're being scammed, but that's why you have to do the research. You can decide whether arbitration is right for you. So when people say waive your rights to sue, it's really not all that bad. Why would you want to go to court and take a year for something to be resolved and cost you lots of money and time? Because it's more complex when creditors are in different states. What court are you going to go to, right? Where's it going to go? Where are you going to meet them? It's much more complex. Please listen to me, guys. And you don't really want to sue the creditors if it's not necessary. You just want to repair your credit, right? I mean, unless they did some god-awful thing to you, then I guess so. Consent with a lawyer. Give them your money. Stop watching. Now, if you want to just repair your credit, you probably don't even need to go to the arbitration route, because we have in here, we don't really go the arbitration route for our clients. We don't, but it might be a good idea. But let's just say you want to dispute things and remove them, which probably most people want to do. They just want to get stuff off and move on with their life. Then online is the way to go. Now, number 4, the 4th step here, you got to provide evidence to support your claim. Now, this would go back to one of the biggest reasons why these fake credit repair gurus on YouTube are against disputing online. So let's go into that. So when you go online to Experian.com, there's a section where they tell you how to dispute. Obviously, this person missed that part. If you dispute, you fill out a form, right? You just go to experiandispute.com. You use the link. That's the traditional way to do it online, because there's traditional ways and then there's a Pinnacle way. Pinnacle way is faster, which we'll go in that in just a little bit, because there's special links that you need to have in order to get around that whole process. So they provide you a little box and says, explain what happened. Well, here's the thing. Your dispute's not going to fit in there. I agree. And if your dispute is any good, it should definitely not fit in there. So typically where these people go, they go to Experian.com/disputes/main. Well, that's the wrong way. I mean, what's not the wrong way, but that's the shitty way to do it. I don't do it that way. We use another link. Okay. Newsflash, that's not the right link. Well, that's not the link we use. We use special links that have insider connections with the bureau, special links that Experian employees inside the credit bureaus give us so we can hack the system. That was a joke. Okay. No, we don't hack the system. Well, we legally and ethically hack. That's a technical term. So to ethically hack something doesn't mean you're doing things wrong. You're just bypassing the normalcies. So if everyone uses this link, and I swear everyone uses this link, go look at all the videos posted before this. Let's do a fact check. You look at this video, look at the date, okay? It's the 16th, December 16, 2023. Now look at all the videos that were posted about online disputes. They predate this by months, some even years. Well, they're all saying the same shit, and they're all using the same link. You can look at it, the screenshots and the recordings they use. Well, it goes to that link. That's the wrong link. If you use the right link, you're going to get a different interface, and I'll explain that in a little bit. If you use the right link, your disputes will be prioritized to a person that actually oversees them, versus going in to the whopping of disputes that just get rejected or verified as accurate. So it's important that you dispute with the right links. There's micro parts to credit repair and macro. Right now, we're kind of doing a little bit of mix, but it goes further than this. This is just scratching the surface. Actually, more than scratching the surface. I am giving you a lot of information. Let me know, drop a comment if this is pretty good information. Let me know, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to do that. You're so smart. You've managed to completely fuck up your credit, and now you're a certified expert by watching free videos on YouTube, how to repair credit. Congratulations. Guys, the correct way to send your written dispute is to upload it directly to Experian at this link right here. It's Experian/consumer/upload/ or just put consumer upload. You're welcome. Remember, you want to handwrite, unless you have some AI program that can make handwritten stuff, okay? But at least print out, right? Type up, print out, and then handwrite your signature and initial each page, okay? And then include your personal information on top. That way they can't share it with the creditor. There's a law, Privacy Act, okay? If you put your social on it, they're not going to share that dispute with the creditor. And so the Bureau cannot send your dispute and send it directly to the creditor. And that is a hack right there, because the Bureau, you're given the Bureau's job to basically regurgitate your stuff and then send it to them. And it takes time, and it makes it more difficult, right? So that's a little another nuance right there, a little important detail that could save you. It could save you a lot of time. So initial each page, this is what we do, and then sign the bottom and then date it. That way they know it's you. It just gives you less leeway and it looks different. Your signature is already genuine. No one has the same signature. I was at the bank one day and they're like, oh, that's not your signature. They're crazy. They look at all the signatures and they're like, no, your signature is different. Can you do it? I'm like, dude, I'm me. Look at me. They're like, yeah, I know, but we got to send this to another department. And it flagged our system. And I wrote my signature a little bit different, and then they rejected it. So your signature is like your fingerprint, okay? Except for this case, you can't put your fingerprint. Maybe you should, huh? I have never tried that before. Maybe we'll start taking stamps, and maybe we'll take some ink and then just put our fingerprints on it. Wow. If that's not genuine enough, I don't know what is. Now they can't share your fingerprints to creditors. That's against the law right there, right? Hey, whatever works. That was a joke, but seriously, it might work. So the classic advice when you hire a credit repair professional, they say, be patient, be persistent, don't give up. I know that sounds like some advice your mom would give you. Well, it's great advice. But the truth is, nobody has time to wait. If you're a professional and you actually have a job or a business, most of my clients are business owners, they really don't have the time to do this. Imagine that. You really want the goodies in life, but you don't have the time to fix it. Well, I don't blame them. It's not that they don't have the time. It's just that they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed. So the right thing to do is watch channels and videos like this. That way you can sit back and before you engage the war, it's like playing a chess game. You have a chance to play chess and win, and the reward is you can get better credit. You're playing chess with the bureaus. What I would do, I would step back and just research, read the board. When you play chess, they teach you don't move. Read and study the board. Practice reading the board first. Okay, if you study game theory, you would understand to read the board first. The same thing with life. If you're uncertain, if you do not know 100% or close thereof, or close enough, sit back and reserve your judgment and just analyze objectively. There's a reason why Pinnacle Credit gets outstanding results for our clients. If you haven't already, guys, again, check my playlist, my credit repair playlist. It says reviews, credit repair reviews on the Pinnacle Credit channel. You can check out the playlist, watch it, play it on repeat so you can see for yourself. Look at it. I'm logging in the computer and showing you. If you want to get results like that, then do this. That required a lot of follow-up. That took more than 10 hours. Like I said, if you want to hire a lawyer for $5,000, be my guest. Or you can do something different. You can hire me, or you can take your time to watch my content, because I am going to post another video after this that's going to be awesome. So guys, let me know what you think about this video, please. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this. I'll be happy to clear it up. You can book a consultation with me using the link below, and there's no obligation. I don't sell anyone. I don't pressure anyone to sell. Often I get criticized by entrepreneurs. Andre, you should be advertising. You should be doing that. We don't advertise. No rush to acquire clients. Work at a steady pace and we're comfortable. But, you know, look at Lexington Law. They're advertising. They're advertising. They're advertising. They're getting you. They're getting you. They're getting you. They dominate the market. Those are the wolves in sheep's clothing. They were sued for like $3 billion. It was like 4, but they like settled down to 3. And they're still in business. All the things they did. They violated the TSA. They violated the charging up front, which we don't do. Okay, there's a credit repair organization that compliance that you need to file, right? But no harm, no foul. So anyway, we don't need to go into that. Work with someone you trust. Those laws are put into place so you don't get scammed. But don't look at those laws and go and look at it as the Bible. Oh, you're a criminal if you violate. Dude, get a break. Don't virtue signal me. I'm here to help people. You did this. You did that. You didn't give me a refund. Yeah, because you signed a contract that nullifies the refund, dumbass. Right? Like Credit Repair Organizations Act, they tell you, you need to tell them their rights and how you work. And then you sign it and agree. I didn't pressure anyone to sign up with me. Like, people act like the victim. And these people that act like the victim, they never go forward in life. The people that are bitching and complaining and talking crap about others, they're not going anywhere. I have clients that legit, I have one client, he is, I don't know, he was living out of his car and he got evicted, and then he's sending me messages saying, I'm going to sue my landlord, she broke the law. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, you didn't pay her, you can't even pay me. This guy's late on paying me money. And another thing, he got fired, right? And the car that he is now living in was listed as a victim of a natural disaster or something. So it was like written off, I guess. It was a charge off, but it was written off. And it said on his credit report, natural disaster. Maybe I'll show his credit report. I'm just kidding, can't do that. And he's sitting there blaming the creditor. I'll mention the creditor, Santander. He's like, Santander's breaking the law. I'm like, no, buddy, you're breaking the law. You're living in you're living in a car illegally, and you moved to another country. And he moved to another state. This guy was living in one state, and then he moved to another state just to scapegoat, just to run from that creditor. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That is nuts. That is delusion, when you're blaming everyone but yourself. And I tried to help him, and then he snapped at me. We got results for him, then he lied. Yeah, customers, they do lie. Women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie. And that's why here at Pinnacle Credit Report, you get a copy of the disputes, we keep a copy of the disputes, and everything is documented in proof. And the reason why we keep disputes is because we want to cover our ass. As a business owner, there are risks associated with opening up every business. 90% of businesses fail within 5 years. Pinnacle Credit has been around for a long time. I've been doing this business for about 10 years, okay? And we're not going anywhere. It's not easy running a business. It is not easy running a business. It's quite difficult, but not impossible. Anyway, you guys, I hope you guys appreciate this video. I made it for you, and stay tuned for the next one. Take it easy.